How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 44 of our West Ham United career mode, and this episode is going to be action-packed for you. We're going to have 3 games as we get closer and closer to the transfer window, and the reason I did 3 games was because these games actually all take place in the same week of time. We're going to have Everton, which is a Sunday game, then we're going to take on Swansea City on the Wednesday, followed by Manchester City on the Saturday. So it's a huge week of games that could really make or break how we're doing in the league this season. So it's really going to be fantastic for us. We see Rodriguez has actually come back to us from his loan with Wigan as we come up against an Everton side at Goodison Park. So obviously it's going to be a little bit tougher. We're in the rain. It's freezing rain out here. It's going to be cold. It's windy. It's a tough team to play and a tough place to go up in Liverpool, taking on Everton on Merseyside. So it's going to be a really, really good game. Obviously, we come out in a little bit of a different lineup with the fitness issues we're having. We have Wickham leading the line, Rodriguez and Morrison actually sitting behind him as sort of left and right forwards, and Kouyaté, Noble, and Delph across the midfield. Then our normal back four pairing and Adrian in goal. So a little bit of a different lineup, maybe a little inexperienced, you have to say. Wickham hasn't got a ton of time in the Premier League. Rodriguez, obviously, this is his first Premier League game for us, really, coming back from his loan spell with Wigan. So we'll have to see how things play out for us with him in that. Well, it's not his first Premier League game because he was with the team a little bit last year. His first Premier League game of this season, I should say. So really, first real opportunity to show me if he's grown a little bit as a player. And Tim Howard's grown about 40 feet there. What a save with his legs. Can't believe it. Unbelievable. McCarthy, a little roulette here to get the ball forward to McGeady in the 29th minute. Plays it into Steven Pienaar. He floats over the top of Adrian. And Naismith out-jumps Carl Jenkinson. And the Everton goal scorer, that's his 5th goal of the season. He's been in great form, and that's why he's keeping Lukaku out of the starting lineup with the way he's playing, because that is a fantastic headed finish there. He just completely out-jumps Jenkinson, knocks him to the floor, and smashes in behind Adrian. Nothing he could do there, and it's a great goal from the Everton man. But we do win a free kick here in the 40th minute. Noble floats in looking for Connor Wickham. It comes out to Carl Jenkinson, who then wins a foul in his own right to give us another free kick in a dangerous area. Obviously, Downing not in the lineup today just because he wasn't fit for the game. So I decide, Aaron Cresswell, step up and take us for me, son. This is your time to shine. It's a great position for him. Obviously, the couple free kicks he has scored have been a little bit further out. But from 20 yards, can the left back step up? Gareth Cresswell. He has a wand of a left foot. I can't stop saying it because what a finish that is. Tim Howard, you stand no chance even with your big beard. What a goal that was from the former Ipswich man. He just steps up, smashes it up and down over the wall. The Everton wall did potentially have a chance. None of them jumped to block it. They kind of pansied out a little bit here as they just kind of ducked the ball and saw it go right over the top of their head. Skimmed almost ahead of Gareth Barry there and into the top corner. So it's a beautiful goal from Cresswell and levels the game for us in a game where we really didn't deserve very much because Everton were dominant. They played really, really well. We didn't have a ton of chances. You see we have a couple here. Rodriguez trying to create some in the 51st minute. Plays Kouyaté in. Surely he's going to score, and he decides, tries to lay it off to the back post to a wide open Wickham, but the pass just wasn't as accurate as we needed it to be, and it does get intercepted. We can't score. Rodriguez in the 57th minute trying to create something yet again. Out on the right wing, floats it in, looking for Morrison. He's bundled over. I was hoping for a foul there. They don't give it. Delph with the next chance, but it is blocked yet again. And then Jenkins here plays a nice 1-2 with Morgan Amalfitano, who's come on as a substitute late in the game for Rodriguez. Jenkinson trying to bundle his way forward. He does really well to stay on the ball here. Some fantastic chances, and eventually Howard deflects off a defender, off Howard's chest, off the post, and Everton do clear it away to keep things level as they stand. Eto'o then trying to create late in the game. Lukaku has come on for Naismith, has a shot, but Adrian comfortable and snapping it up, and that would be how the game would finish. So a 1-1 draw there, obviously. Pretty tough competition. To take a look at the stats here, Everton did dominate the game. For me, the man of the match had to do with a lot of defenders. Rodriguez got a point for me. I thought he played very well, though we did sub him off about the 70th minute. Cresswell gets 2 points, and Jenkinson, who despite being on the receiving end of Naismith jumping over his back to get that headed goal, I thought he was fantastic bombing up the right wing. Nearly scored the winner late in the game. And for me, as for FIFA, he was man of the match, though. A wonderful game, you have to say, from Everton. 9 shots total to our 3, and a tough fighting draw for us. And I remember a couple episodes back, you saw Rabiot and Carroll both came to me and said they wanted more playing time. since then, I've listened to that. Carroll obviously gets as much playing time as he did before, but either way, he's happy with that. Rabiot's happy he's gotten in the team more often, and honestly, he's given me a bit of a selection dilemma because I had some ideas of what I maybe wanted to try to do in the January window, especially it revolved around potentially bringing in a central midfielder, maybe a CDM. I had a couple in mind who I'll still cover in an upcoming Hammers headlines when we start talking about the transfer window, but at this moment in time, with how well he's playing and slotting into the team, you can see I play him in the CDM role here. In our game against Swansea City, Sacco and Carroll up top, Downing back in the line behind him. Nolan, instead of playing in his usual cam, is dropping back into a more reserved CM position alongside Oxlade-Chamberlain just because he doesn't have the pace to play as a cam anymore. So I thought Downing's been holding that role down. We'll give Nolan a run out in CM. And like I said, Rabiot's been holding down that holding midfield role so well, and not to mention the other players we have that can play in that role, that I might not need some of the targets that I went for, and it really throws a wrench into my January plans. But we come out against a resolute Swansea side playing in the 4-2-3-1. They're sitting, lower mid-table right now, so not the most dangerous of sides, but someone that, will try to get some points because they need something to cheer them up heading towards the Christmas break. And Kevin Nolan with a lovely bit of skill there. You can see that defending he had before Oxlade-Chamberlain gave the ball away. Disappointing giveaway, but Nolan showing he might be the man to do the job in that central midfield role. And Sacco with a couple of lovely chances here in the early going, trying to renew that form that he had last season. He's been fantastic for us the last few games, I'll tell you what. He's been really good, and from here he's trying to pick up a goal. Creswell with his favored position, getting the ball back off a corner where he scored that wonder goal from against Everton last year. Unfortunately, he was saved by Gerhard Tremmel, but we get off to a wonderful start yet again. Rabiot with a shot, and the man who I've just been talking up opens his account for West Ham United in the Barclays Premier League. A great finish. It might have taken a bit of a deflection off the backside of Jordi Amat. Maybe a little bit of a deflection that bundles the ball past the goalkeeper. You can see there as he jumps out of the way. But it's a wonderful ball from Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then Rabiot shows the class. The reason he was at Paris Saint-Germain before we snapped him up at the beginning of the season, because he does have that technical ability. He's a fantastic player and one that we hope to develop into a wonderful player. That's a great goal, though, from Rabiot and gives us an early 1-0 lead at home, which is something you need against a team that's desperate for points like Swansea City. So a great start, and, we're looking to build on that, but Swansea come back the other way. Dyer with the ball plays a nice 1-2 into Ki Sung-young. Has a strike, but he should be doing better, at least testing Adrian from that point, and you could argue that he should have scored. Disappointing strike for the Swans, and they come back looking for that first goal. Britton cuts inside, lays it back to Dyer. He has a strike and inches wide yet again. They're not able to hit a target, and after a giveaway here, Downing picks the ball up, plays a wonderful ball through to Diafra Sacco. He breaks away from his defenders. He can't score. It's off the post, but Oxlade-Chamberlain on hand to clean up is the Ox. He has been a man in form. What a buy. He's arguably our purchase of the summer transfer window because he has been a revelation. He's played out on the wing for us. He's played as part of a central midfield diamond out on the right side and or the left side, kind of wherever we really need him to play. He's playing on the left today, and he finishes that goal beautifully. It's a wonderful finish. He just guides the ball into the back of the net, but with enough pace that Tremmel's unable to get back. And it's a beautiful finish. You can't say enough about it, and it gives us a 2-0 lead that arguably at this time could wrap up the points for us the way we've been playing. But Downing here trying to create another chance. He does well. Gets out on his right side so he can play it in with his left foot. Finds Andy Carroll. His flick on just misses the back of the net. Carroll has been in such fine form. Looking for yet another goal. Forces a goal kick though as the ball goes wide. And Swansea here with an absolute howler. Tian Dolly with a horrific touch as he tried to play it back to Ashley Williams. Carroll steals it away. Finds Diafra Sacco. And it's cool as you like. He rounds the goalkeeper who had been really, really aggressive there. Goes right around him. And he's not messing about there. He kicks through the ball like he's trying to kick through a wall. What a finish that is from Diafra Sacco. Doesn't just side foot in the back of the net. He absolutely powers it. Laces first. And boom. 3-0. West Ham United. 3 goals. 3 points, you would have to say at this point. And it's a wonderful finish from Diafra, and well-deserved. He probably could have had 3 or 4 goals at this point in time, but we'll take the one that's going to seal the victory for us. Diafra's second goal in the Premier League, and Sacco, the Senegalese Lion Prince, what a finish that is. Another near chance here as Downing floats the ball in, and Oxlade-Chamberlain should have made 4. You could argue that that's a sitter. Tremmel with another, putting himself in a terrible position as he comes out to claim the ball, but then he doesn't get back in his net. All he had was one player in the line, and Oxlade-Chamberlain just not able to finish. Carroll then nearly puts the ball in the back of the net, but his header floats over the top. Nolan plays Carlton Cole through late here in the game. He comes in, nice fake shot to skip Brown's defender, and it should be 4. It should be 5. We should have 8 goals in this game, I'll tell you what, at this moment in time. But Carlton Cole's effort is saved, and that would be how the game would finish. A 3-0 result. Arguably, you could say we deserved more the way we played, but 3-0 will certainly take it, and that's a huge victory to up our points total because we had been struggling, especially when you compare ourselves to our form of last year. Through this many games, we had picked up 36 points at this moment in time. Coming into this game, we had 29, so that now puts us on 32 points. So a little bit behind our pace from last year, but it seems like the Premier League hasn't been putting up points like they have been in the past. So we're still doing all right in terms of the league and actually well within a shout for a Champions League place and especially a Europa League place, which is our goal from the board. And in this game, Sacco got the 3 points for me. 2 points for Kevin Nolan, who I thought absolutely dominated the center of the park. He was fantastic. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was FIFA's man of the match, gets 1 point for me. So a fantastic game from him as well. And really from the whole team. If you take a look at the ratings there, they were all 7.5, 7.9, 8.3, 8.9. I think Sacco and Oxlade-Chamberlain had 9.2. So fantastic. We come into the game against Manchester City, and the injury woes they're dealing with right now are just absurd. They've had a Champions League fixture on the Wednesday before the game when we played Swansea, so they've had to mix up the squad because of that. They also have Joe Hart injured. Suarez picked up a knock. They're missing so many players. Sagna has an injury. Zabaleta was off the pitch. They have so many guys out of the lineup right now. I think the only real starters that they have in were David Silva and Yaya Toure, and then a couple defenders. Kolarov's in. They have Richard Wright playing in goal. Devante Cole, Negredo's on the bench because of fitness issues. So really, they come out with a weakened squad. We put out a relatively strong lineup. Carroll and Sacco weren't fit, so I put Wickham up top on his own with Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right and Ravel in support on the left. So, pretty strong lineup, and arguably you would say we have the better team based on the players we're putting out, but City have Yaya Toure getting a wonderful free kick there, and Adrian had Adrian's wall just in full force today. You see 3 wonder saves he's already made here. Milner lays the ball back for Devante Cole. He plays it into Fofana in the center of midfield. Into Cole, and his strike goes just wide. And City have had 100% of the ball at this moment in time. They're dominating. Plays the ball through to Kolarov, into the Swedish sniper Jean Guidetti. Back to Yaya Toure. Has a strike in inches wide. We know he loves to have a shot from distance, and thankfully for us, he's not able to score. Our first real chance here comes off a corner. Cresswell lays a nice pass into Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he tries to hit it on the turn and just doesn't get it anywhere close to Richard Wright's goal. And he's someone that we want to take advantage of. They don't have their first choice keeper, who's actually been Caballero for much of the Premier League season. Joe Hart, like I said, is injured. Caballero, I guess fitness issues or what have you, he's not been in the lineup. He's on the bench today, so we need to take advantage of that. Oxlade-Chamberlain shows a lovely bit of skill with that roulette there. Lays out wide to Aaron Cresswell and tons of space trying to create for himself. Gets forward here. Yaya Toure is pulled out of position by the run of Cresswell. Chamberlain picks up from 30 yards and smashes it onto the roof of the net. Nearly would have been a lovely goal from the former Arsenal man, but he's unable to score. And then Manchester City try and hit us on the counterattack. Devante Cole here plays the ball in to John Guidetti, and the Swedish striker is able to score a little bit. Fortunately, as you can see, the ball actually takes a deflection, which allows it to skip over Adrian. Winston Reid came in for the tackle, and Kulu's not able to get Cole off the ball. And John Guidetti's little toe poke comes off the leg of Carl Jenkinson as well as the ground and just takes an awkward bounce over the sprawling Adrian. The Spaniard's not able to make the save, and it's 1-0 to the Citizens. You could say against the run of play at this moment in time, because we did have a few of the chances late in the first half, but they had tons of chances, and arguably you could say they deserved it. The second half, though, was a tale of a different story, just because they had the lead. They know they're playing a bit of a weakened side, and even though they're at home, they have the home crowd buoying them. They saw we're attacking towards our away support, who are just so lively in this game. I couldn't say enough about them. Carroll goes down here. I thought it should have been a penalty. Unable. He stays with the ball, and his shot does go wide, but they just decide to sit back in 2 banks of 5, or a bank of 4 and a bank of 5, and just decide to hold their lines and keep us out as long as they could. And it got later and later, and I thought, we might not be able to beat them. Obviously, we got drubbed at the Etihad last year. I think the final score was 4-1. or 4-0 if I remember correctly. So this is definitely an improvement, but they're also playing a much weakened side, and we just try and get chance after chance here. Downing gets a ball after Oxlade-Chamberlain's cross is dealt with, and his shot goes just wide. And we're getting later and later. I brought Rodriguez in. I brought a few different players in. Keontae came in for Delft to try and create chances. Carroll came on for Wickham, who actually picked up a knock at halftime, so he had to come on. But also because I didn't think Wickham was imposing himself as well as he should. And we just couldn't score here. Richard Wright makes a wonderful save, allowing Fofana to clear things away. And we're just trying and trying and trying. Morrison here gets around Micah Richards, who's come back from his loan from Fiorentina this year. Floats it in. Sir Andrew, Lord of Carroll. 88th minute, and we finally break through and level the score up, and it's a goal that sends the fans into raptures. What a finish it was. Carroll outjumps, I can't even remember the center back's name. He's a guy who's like their 6th choice center back that somehow got a start today because Kompany's out, Mangala was out. They had so many issues with fitness and injuries that it forced them to make so many decisions, and we catch them on the counter here. Rodriguez trying to take on Nastasic, using his pace and a little bit of trickery, but it's a good save from the goalkeeper, Richard Wright. Only as far as Askarov, back to Yaya Toure, and then Yaya makes a no-no. He loses the ball right in front of his own box. Rodriguez jumps on it, and he's able to slot the ball in the back of the net behind Richard Wright, and celebrates in front of the traveling support with the goal that wins the game for us. What a finish from Rodriguez. He's cool and calm, goes right around the keeper and smashes it in the open net with a side foot there. It's a beautiful goal that will get us the 3 points away from home, and a wonderful return in this episode of 7 points from 3 tough games, taking on Everton, who finished 2nd in the league last year, Manchester City, who finished 4th, and of course a Swansea team that has plenty of dangerous players, and that would be all she wrote. We celebrate. I mean, it's what a feeling it is, coming from behind with 2 goals in the final 5 minutes to win the match, and what a way to end this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. The 3 points for this episode: Adrian's Wall gets 3 points, Downing, who I thought was a wonderful creator, gets 2, and Andy Carroll, the super sub, gets a single point. So that's a fantastic episode. It's a great return for us, and it's going to lead us further and further into January. I think we have 2 episodes now until we get into the transfer window. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to watch into episode 45, guys, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.